What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Fay Enchantress Old World Classic campaign. So as we saw last time, we continue making our way through the mountains and putting the dead to rest. The Barrow Legion losing Heinrich Kemmler as well as, well, significant territories, and are very much on their way out, while our errantries that deal with the vampire counts are verging on completion. In the meantime, our other armies are closing in to destroy the Broken Nose, and we are heading northward towards the Broken Axe. We got a lovely caravan battle showing off our cavalry exchange program with the Imperial Kislevite and Bretonnian cavalry working together in concert, and Imperial and Kislevite guns, as well as some garbage Bretonnian arrows. But hey, it's been pretty nice so far, and I expect great things from that caravan to come. In the meantime, however, Deathmaster Snikch has declared war upon us, and with the Brigand faction confederated by Bordelot, and that means we have nobody further to defend us here, and thusly they will most likely be attacking us, well, rather soon. Otherwise, I do believe we're more or less in a new turn, so let's get started. Well, actually, before we get started, a second episode was promised today, and this be that episode, as we did manage to maintain the engagement streak. So, isn't that lovely? Promises made, promises kept, etc. Now, let's see what we've got to do this particular turn, and we did want to move towards, I believe, Charity next for the additional control. We do have to move through almshouses and town census to do it. Neither which really matter that much. The construction costs for infrastructure buildings ain't too bad. Alright, so I guess we'll grab Relentless here in the Green Knight's tree. Partly for the Wayfarer and speed for the Green Knight, letting him reposition himself faster when he returns. Otherwise, we got the tech last time that completed a second caravan, so we should set you loose. Let's send you to Myrmidons. And I think, yeah, this is the way to travel there. Ramos is also an option, because we're not at war with anybody here, and I did say... Oh, wait, no, but to go to Ramos, we would be in danger of traveling through territories currently occupied by enemies. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Let's do Myrmidons. This is a safe route. One or more warring factions, or at least it's more or less a safe route. There is the Dark Elves, but, well, hopefully they don't wipe you out. Alright, set up your cargo. And away you go. And away you cargo. Dispatch. Alright, good luck with the whole surviving thing. Hopefully we find more ogres. I don't know what lands we'd have to travel through to get them, but, well, I'm interested to find out. Next, Fay Enchantress. Let's see how we're looking here. Now, we do want to grab Dottarnberg, but we also want to get ready to pressure Carrick Bufdar. Therefore, we will send... Luann can, in theory, reach this by herself without risking Renee. Renee is our oldest lord. Though, I do note that Renee does not have a Kit's Defeat trait. While she does have Savior, but Luann does. Yeah, she has a fitting end. Therefore, she is more important in terms of keeping her around, so we will actually use Renee for this purpose. So you're going to head to Domatberg right after we steal some tech. Right after we fail to steal some tech. Like so. Oh, they got Morgul's and stuff. And hey, a free smuggler ranked up whilst gaining a large income via trade. Well, isn't that lovely? What's the large income via trade? 3.5k? I wouldn't call that a large income via trade, but I'm not complaining. Alright, and we got another smuggler. I guess we now can get the free smugglers with our tech thieves just by, you know, actions, which is a good thing. Then we're gonna send Meline d'Outremer here to Crinal, I guess. Like so, frankly, oh, I need to... okay, wait. Give it a minute. You'll lose that. There we go, but it looks like we're going to be forced to fight this, but I'm not surprised. You, unfortunately, cannot reach Carrick Bufdar, so I'm going to have you stand right outside it, right here. And then get ready to attack together with the Fay Enchantress, so you can channel. Max yourself out. You, Fay Enchantress, will reinforce at Dottarnberg. Domatberg, every time.
We have met before.
No, I keep saying that one wrong. You, Luann, can reinforce, and you, Leonie, can reinforce as well, though I... Did I move you too far? Well, I guess we're going to find out. Alrighty. Like so, just to double check, is it all three? Is it all three? I can't tell. Can I? I think we're missing
What if
Leonie
you'll be
here, so
less?
move closer here
Taking
like
my
so,
leave.
and you move closer slightly as well.
My path is clear.
Oh wow, you two are not going to be able to move out of here, are you? But it is what it is. Alright, so we'll deal with that in a moment. I would like, well, you know what, if we have to fight this, if the game's gonna force us to, which is fine, I guess we'll fight this real quick. Let's level up before we do that. We need to make sure our peasants are firing and doing as much damage via range as possible, so I believe that's peasant proficiency. And then you... I don't think you need to save points as yet. Retinue Physician is always going to be useful, and there's nothing else to get unless I'm mistaken, unless... Yeah, no, there's nothing else to get. Alright, let's grab Retinue Quartermaster and move to Retinue Physician afterwards. You... let's see what we got here. I guess we'll want to move towards Arcane Conduit ASAP. Let's grab a second point in Dwellers Below, like so. Alright, let's do this fight real quick. Shouldn't be any kind of issue. But we do want to level our cavalry more, so let's get to leveling.
For Bretonnia!
Alrighty, here we go. This army in a one-on-one now. The range units versus all those orcs. But, well, we do outnumber the enemy slightly, and I imagine we'll have a pretty decent time of it. What we do, however, need is for our Knights Errant to put in the work. It doesn't matter if they take damage. What they need is experience, because these guys need to be trained up to become Pegasus Knights. And so, we're going to have them charge directly at the enemy lines, even while artillery brings us stones down upon the ranks of the enemy, including the regular artillery pieces, so we are liable to take at least some damage ourselves. We will charge right through the enemy front line orcs and into the range units behind them, and then peel away into different directions while continuing to annoy the enemy. Our Pegasus Knights obviously don't really need the training. Royal Pegasus Knights, I should say. They could still use the XP, but they will be used more to protect the ranged elements of this particular army. And this is why I wanted to combine the almost all range forces with the Pegasus Knight variants. And because of the quick and easy reposition and all that. Anyway, boar boys and trolls are moving towards us. Yeah, it looks like the trolls are going to be able to get close. They will, however, suffer about 80 or 20% of their HP and damage. Similar to these boar boys, which are eating arrows to the face. And by the looks of it, will melt away right before they reach our battle line. Turn and book it on out of there. Perfect. Behind them, we got more troops coming in. A unit of Brigands who are down to about half HP and are not having a good time. The trolls that attempted to charge are done for, and our Royal Pegasus Knights are doing a good job. Wait, how are you even flying with that thing? That's gotta mess with your aerodynamics. Whatever. These guys are also trouncing the boar boys and have them positioned in such a way where they can attack them, all the while the peasants pincushion them with arrows, without us having to worry about our own units and getting pincushioned, since we just hold the enemy back. Enemy Lord has moved towards us, however, and with a silver shield and 120 armor, the peasant bows and longbows are really not a threat to him, so we're actually going to send the Friar to duel him. Now, the Friar has actually surprisingly decent stats at 57 and 65, and you guys remember that we've been giving the Wayfarer trait to our Friars lately, which means that they can reposition themselves quite well with 50% movement speed and Strider. And besides, now that the boar boys are done, we can simply come down with our Royal Pegasus Knights and help the Friar out. In the meantime, there are still a dozen or so enemy units milling around the enemy center. They're still trying desperately to move towards our battle lines, while arrows and stones come down upon them. But our Knights Errant keep repeatedly charging through them. They're obviously not doing as crazy much damage as our more elite knight units are, but they are absolutely doing some damage, and they are also disrupting the enemy pretty heavily. Plus, I always enjoy watching the sort of blobs of knights like this wheel around, like not when it's one unit, but several units together. And the maneuvers are always entertaining to watch. Alrighty, and they back up from the main enemy blob. It's absolutely chaos in the enemy army. Their formations have been so badly disrupted at this point that they're just non-cohesive. And it looks like, frankly, the battle is very much nearly ours. The enemy lord has been defeated by the Friar and the Royal Pegasus Knights. A few more arrows, a few more charges, and I do believe this entire force shall be put to rout. Alright, time to back off the Royal Pegasus Knights now. Maybe get a few more orcs flying. And it looks like with that, the last of the orcs shatter, and the battle is ours. Lovely. And they were never able to reach our range lines. We'll see if that works equally as effectively when these guys are Pegasus Knights, because they won't actually quite be able to do the same kind of formation disruption that these guys were doing here. At least theoretically. Partly because they have less numbers, and partly because they're more fragile, and, well, yeah. We'll see. Alright, there we go, and a potion of foolhardiness, which we can turn into something else. Enemy army unsurprisingly got annihilated, and we got a little bit of XP on our Knights Errant, but we're a long, long way from getting up to Pegasus Knights, which they'll want to eventually be. Our Royal Pegasus Knights unsurprisingly did plenty of damage, and even more damage dealt as gold value, taking on enemy boar boys, trolls, and the enemy lord as well, though the friar did hold a line against the enemy lord, as he did manage to reach our battle lines. Until this army is fully leveled, we will have to be very careful with it, because obviously we have effectively no melee, so yeah, or at the very least no melee infantry. Anyway, we will occupy the place, like so. And then we will turn this potion of foolhardiness into hopefully something a little bit less foolhardy. Fuse into Crown of Command. Don't really care for it. Not useful enough. I wish it would at least give us some kind of minor stats, but wait, casualties captured post-battle plus 10%. Yeah, sure, keep it. We got a short victory. Isn't that lovely? But yeah, short victory as always. Actually, roughly around this time. I think we got it at turn 35 or so. Wait, no, in Scarbrand I think we got long victory on turn 35, but for most campaigns I think short victory comes around turn 30 or so that makes sense. And like I've said many times, I don't really pay attention to these victory conditions or whatever, it's just, you know, minor free reward for doing well essentially, so just ignore it. Crown of Command. There may be paladins that have an increased aura, depending on what we pick, that we may want to give that to, though I fear that, see, we will never take Commander's Discipline, because 100% leadership aura is not worth the loss of 30% weapon strength at all. The aura just isn't good enough. Even with peasant armies, it's just not worth it. Although a peasant-heavy army that doesn't have the Fay Enchantress, we might do somebody with the Crown of Command and see if we can stack a little bit of leadership aura. Actually, when I think about it, wait, don't the rabble-rousers, let me see here. Confident, you get leadership, yeah, but you get nothing from your leadership aura, right? Yeah. This is just straight up leadership to you, straight up leadership to everybody around you, but no character leadership aura. I was wondering if you had that, because if you did, then that would be a good thing for the Crown of Command, but apparently not. Alright, well then. Fay Enchantress, you're about to fight this, but let's spread out the fighting and the non-fighting. First, let us take a look at anything interesting we might have, and hello, we got trade agreements available. Ooh, with a lot of factions. Wait, what's the biggest faction here? Oh, it's Kislev that I want. As in the Ice Court, they will give us the most by a huge margin.
Our common cause shall benefit.
Yeah, we're not giving you 14,000 gold for 1.6, you insane jerk faces. Anyway, I don't really want to declare war on anybody here. So I guess we don't wait? Alright, fine, fair enough. Let's just do... I guess Aquitaine is probably going to be the best next one. Funnily enough, Cult of Sotek is pretty good, but there's a decent likelihood they die before we get to them, so I think I'd rather go for Aquitaine right now. I think I'll also go for the defensive alliance with them, why not? And get the free money. Yeah, I think that makes it worth our while. I like... Come on now. Don't tell me you crashed. Okay, no. Would have been a weird place to crash. Also, did we have any missions? Continental Exarchate. Wendy Rayner, never gonna happen. Duriath Soulblaze, again. Well, I mean, not never, but not gonna happen right now. Then, in that light... Also, wait. Since we now know that you guys did yourself some good work, you can be named. What am I gonna name you? How about... Okay, we got a ton of knight names of various kinds. Knights of the Algorithm. Yeah. Seems appropriate for a unit. up on high, as it were, as these guys are. I like it. Also, let's say maybe one of you and one of you at the very least. These guys will become regular Pegasus Knights, so they don't deserve their names yet. And we've named a couple of the Trebs already. Men-at-arms with longbows. You can be the overshooters, and then one of the regular peasants can be. I don't know. How about peasant union? Like so. All right. Looking good, at least for now. Also, didn't we build our first squires? I think we did.
You require magic.
If I could please just click somebody. Thank you. Yes, we did. All right, let's name one of these squires. You can be Pierre Ferme, like so. And okay, good enough for now. Good enough for now. Then we need to book it towards where we will most likely get attacked by Plant Eschen. In that light, let us pick up the foot squires. How many of these do we need in this army? The thing is, I don't know. I guess we could temporarily take them all. And then if we need to swap some of them out later on. 2 of them I want to be Knights of the Realm foot knights. And then maybe we could do a couple of questing knights, so most likely we'll only need 4 rather than 6 in this particular army, unless we want to do more. Fine. We could do 2 Knights of the Realm on foot, 2 questing knights, and I will be reasonably happy with that, I think. Alrighty, then in that light, you will march stance this way. In fact, you can go all directly to Castle Carcassonne, like this. You will also need... Oh, I just realized you will need... You, I think. Sanctified. Passive ability Guardian for non-knight units, yes. Can you actually reach this? Either be very close or just off, can't quite tell. And your ranged increase power up, eh? Actually, there probably won't be room in this particular army for... I guess we'll use some artillery, but we won't use any peasant bows in this particular army. How about that? I think that'll work nicely. Alrighty, then. Inez, I would like you to proceed towards... Ooh, I was about to say towards Saint Jacques, but you're gonna have to do this. March stance over. There's a decent likelihood that this is full of rats. And if there's a full stack there, well, I don't want to risk you dying, so let's get you the Beast Slayers of Baston and the Companions of Quesnel. I was going to give the Beast Slayers of Baston to this army anyway. The Companions of Quesnel will probably go into a different army depending on how we deal with these knights. We can also do double, or all 4 Knights of the Realm and no questing knights.
Or glorious death.
Questing knights and knights errant and knights of the realm do share a tree, don't they? Yeah, they do. It's the Pegasus knights, the flying knights, essentially, that are of a different, well, breed, I guess. And then the worshipper... Wait. Engines of War, Guardians of the Lady. We have Knights of the Realm. Oh, Grail Knights are in this together with the Grail Guardians as well. So basically everybody's in Glorfiniel's progeny. Alright, fair enough. You.
Of the realm.
Lowborn militia is not necessary. What you want is worshippers of the Grail, and you want Glorfiniel's progeny. Regardless of what kind of knights you're using, you won't be using flying knights. So let's do this. Like so. Then, oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, I already had the increased mobility. Good. What about you? Definitely replenish troops, and we'll definitely want to max out Life Bloom, Earth Blood, Shield of Thorns. Let's get an emergency regrowth. Like so. Alrighty, and then hopefully you can make it in time. You will still need to continue recruiting for the rest of this army, though, including a couple of battle pilgrims, which are going to go in here. I did say a couple of artillery pieces. Yeah, so let's do that. Maybe just give them all 4 battle pilgrims. Technically, they won't have battle pilgrim buffs, but I was going to put the... I was going to use some polearm units, but they're not technically necessary for using Knights of the Realm on foot because they are anti-large knights anyway. We won't have cavalry bane, but I don't think that's that big of a deal in that particular army. Oh, and we'll obviously need at least 1 Grail Relic, but we are already building one. Anyway, let's build some field trebs. I'm going to say blessed field trebs for this particular force. And I believe that's it. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we don't really have room for more, so yes. Yes, indeed, yes. Alrighty. Do you want to do building? You know what? We did the some admin. Let's do a fight now, and then we'll move on to building afterwards. You have a Pyrrhic victory with one of the poor little men-at-arms will die. Yeah. I'm definitely going to want an army that's just all men-at-arms of various types as well. Well, with probably a couple of knights. And just for fun. And that'll be a nice sort of mixed army with maybe nothing too fancy. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And then maybe we'll give like one unit of Grail Guardian, or Grail Knights, and then something like that. I don't know, I'll think about it. Either way, you are going to fight now? Yes. Alrighty, here we go. The enemy does have a couple of interesting units like the Morngulls and the Vargulf, but otherwise it's a rather, well, maybe not quite small army, but certainly small for, you know, the Fay Enchantress's army. Considering the kind of armies that she's taken on in the past. However, the interesting aspect of this particular battle is that the enemy is not actually waiting for us, choosing instead to immediately rush the peasants that are out here. We're going to attempt to withdraw towards where we're making our way onto the battlefield with the Fay Enchantress's reinforcements, and I do make it here in time, but it does mean we will not be able to position ourselves in a way that we like, and we effectively have to move into battle from our, from our reinforcing position immediately. Just rush on out of there and into the fight. I'm sure a decent amount of our units, Battle Pilgrims and Grail Knights, will all be perfectly happy. The Green Knight may not be here to fight with the Fay Enchantress anymore, but her trusty Knight Amalric is still here and will be probably fighting decently well now. He's still not, red-lined up, so he's not going to be crazy strong, but he is very, very tanky. And in some cases, that's what matters. Our units are still making their way onto the battlefield for reinforcements, and the enemy is doing a good job disrupting them as much as it can, sending some Fellbats into the blobs, though the Fellbats do quickly get annihilated, and we do make sure that the Paladin moves with them because of the additional little bit of air superiority that provides. Our Prophetesses hover overhead and probably could have frankly helped with the Fellbats. Sir Amalric will go after the enemy Vargulf here in something of a duel. And it looks like, I think I saw Vampire of Death somewhere in here that I had the Fay Enchantress target, but it's a little bit difficult with all these Black Knights around who are interfering. Our ranged reinforcements are coming in to help, the fiery arrows dropping down upon the enemy, and of course the undead are vulnerable to flame, which is quite helpful. Still kind of struggling to come up with a viable fire army for Bretonnia. We effectively have very few units that actually do fire damage. It's basically just the Grail Knights and Guardians and the Fire Arrow guys. We need to effectively... Oh, it's not even... Wait. It's not even the Grail Knights, it's just the Grail Guardians. Okay. So basically, all we can do is combine Grail Knights, or Grail Guardians and Peasants with Fire Arrows? That seems kind of meh. And we could, in theory, use some Wood Elven units, like the Blade Singers, which not... actually, I don't remember. Do Blade Singers do fire damage? I know that they cause fire weakness due to searing flame on their attacks. I gotta double check. We'll have to figure it out. I have like a dozen army compositions that rely on getting some Wood Elf units in there, so we've still got a fair ways to go. Fortunately, with all the Wood Elf allies we have, we should certainly have access to them. And just by virtue of the name similarity, I think we gotta use a Barkskin Lure of Life damsel, and then, you know, have the Barkskin lead a bunch of treekin. Or alternatively among the trees, which is also, or is it amongst the trees, which is also another trait. Either one would work nicely. Anyway, looks like Amalric has nearly defeated the Vargulf in their duel. One more hit by the looks of it will bring Big Boy down, and of course you had to jump forward to die, then out of camera shot, jerk. One last screw you, depriving us of your death animation. And now that Sir Amalric has defeated the Vargulf, we give him a nice heal to top him up. Lovely. With the Vargulf's fall and the vampires defeated, looks like the enemy army is done. Battle is ours. We never really made it that far past where we reinforced onto the battlefield, but by the looks of it, we didn't need to. Alright, there we go. Quick little fight, destruction of the enemy with 106 kills on the peasant mob. Actually did better than the battle pilgrims and, well, everybody but the Grail Knights, actually including the artillery piece. Okay, not as good as the Fay Enchantress with her 516 kills and 75,000 damage, but, you know, still pretty good. We will occupy the place for obvious reasons, and, ooh, yes, another Forbidden Rod. Good. We will give that to somebody who's actually active in fights. And we will pray that Kazran Grimbrow doesn't take the opportunity to wipe one of our armies out. Fay Enchantress, in the meantime, will go here. And I take it you guys, yeah, you're not able to follow, so you're all just gonna have to stay here and just hope that you don't die. Alright, good luck to you. Either way, we should be able to reach Carcassonne our next turn, assuming that Orion doesn't attack it, which, I mean, it is a siege, so he might just ignore it, I hope. We'll see. These guys also probably get back their units fairly soon. They're currently only at war with us in Carcassonne, so Azor could jump down here as well. Frankly, I don't care that much about Lycoros, but I would prefer not to have to share these territories. And Damatberg will keep this for now, and just all the buildings in these territories until we're ready to change them. Next up, we got building. Let's see what we got here. Gulf of Pearls, still not a full province. Arabimo, one more turn. Okay, Miragliano, however. Yeah, we'll upgrade the Grand Landed Estate. The coaching is a little bit expensive for what it offers. Let's do the Chapel of Nobility, and I think here we will build the Arimo hideout, the Brigand camp. I feel like it kind of makes sense. A, because it makes some money, and B, it's in Miragliano and not in Bretonnia, so, you know. Yeah, this we'll leave alone for now. I do want to upgrade that Grail Chapel. We'll leave this alone for now. Skavenblight. I really don't want to pay 10k for you for now, but we'll upgrade the water wheel, no doubt about that, and the Chapel of the Lady, and the Grail Chapel here. This is Stormwrath Peak. You don't... I never built you a farm? Why? Okay, maybe I forgot. I didn't actually delete the farm, did I? Huh. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. Might have misclicked something. Or just forgot. It's a distinct possibility. Anyway, let's see. Chateau de Varur, Legnor der Van Lieber, we will probably trade. Grave of Quila, we're kind of in the same situation there. However, this is one of the territories we were looking to keep, if nothing else, for the livestock pens. So we'll leave you there, and let's upgrade this place and just hope that it doesn't get killed by something. Quenel, you were ignoring for now, and then Carakex Villas and Casa de Frukend. Yes, you're good. Alright, so let's do quick little Shrine of the Lady, field, and field. Like so. And then we'll see about what else we have left for. And, oh, I guess we don't technically need this in Crenal here. Yeah. Again, there's no guarantee that we're actually keeping these territories based on the fact that this border gore exists and it's horrific, but we'll see. Honestly, if the Wood Elves could just hold this side of these mountains, that would be great. Well, then again, there is gold here. And the dwarves do hate us. Well, then again, minus 95 isn't... It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. We're going to get a plus 50 with them based off of this. So maybe we won't have to kill the dwarves. Although, admittedly, Carcassonne, I don't like the fact that we're sharing territory with them. There is that. We'll see. Anyway, Lord Not Moved. Wait, there is still fighting to be done, which is this fighting. You can reach Morglis. I don't know if he'll run, and there is a possibility that he will, but let's find out for sure. You guys gonna move in? I don't want to interfere with the main stack. Hopefully you don't get in the way too much. You can travel in Crusade stance as well. Like so. And I'm hoping that you can just go through them. Not around them, through them. Yes, you can. Good. Alright, we'll try that, and we'll see if they run. You. Get a steamed combatant. We always want to have that. And then you... Yes. Liquid fortification. Now, we don't have aspirant hoods or many merry men as yet, but there will be many merry men eventually. You can now strike, or at least attempt it. And we'll see if he stays or if he goes. Oh, yeah, it's a Doom Diver. Good for him. Let's see. He'll stay. Well, isn't that lovely? Yeah, we'll fight it. We'll fight it. Brigands need more XP, and I've been enjoying using them, so go. Alrighty, here we go. Another fight with Bertrand the Brigand, and I've been very much enjoying this army, but we gotta get more fights on it so that we can evolve the troops to higher tiers, and obviously still use some of the lower tiers for some of the other armies, that will be eventually. For now, though, this army does have full-on Vanguard deployment, which we are going to take full advantage of here. This particular map has a massive disparity in elevation. One side of the map is a huge hill, so we will deploy all of our army up here and take full advantage, like I said, of that elevation, and with the Brigand crossbows then having to move in slightly forward to fire down on the enemy, but certainly worth the trade-off. We're also going to charge directly past the enemy army with the Brigand Raiders, getting ready to smash into the enemy flanks as needed, though obviously having to be more careful than we would be with something like Knights, while the sniping, stalking Bowmen of Bergerac focus some critical targets where the enemy can't reach them, specifically the Mangler Squigs, as they're suicide units and we really don't want them reaching our main lines any more than we would want a bloated corpse reaching our battle lines, or one of those explosive squigs. Some of our other range units are going to try their best to focus down the Goblin Rock Lobber, and we're going to commit a lot to bringing down the enemy artillery pieces, Doom Divers and Rock Lobbers alike, with our Poison, Dark, Black Arrow, whatever, Black Arrow, Dark Arrow, whatever it is. And the thing with the poison. The Black Arrow, with the slow death. We launch it in one artillery piece, and then we do the Dwellers below. Not overcast, just regular, on the Doom Divers, as they are fragile enough to be obliterated by the regular variant. Lovely. In the meantime, the first of the enemies have arrived, smashing into our Twin Blades. It's actually a fairly interesting matchup. Forest Goblins versus Twin Blades. They're both tier 1 units. Well, our tier 1 units do a lot of damage but are very fragile. The enemy tier 1 units are very fragile but have lethal poison on them, which tends to give them a lot of damage. And ooh, okay, that's actually a devastating combination. Trolls moving in together with the forest gobs, but it looks like the trolls only got a few hits in before the crossbows put them to flight. I mean, even Trollhide has got to be not taking too many crossbows, I would imagine. I do once again, however, love how SFO gives additional massive amounts of missile resistance to the biggest monsters, like giants, for example, especially giants, with their base 40 or 50%. Because you'd figure that a lot of the bigger beasties would effectively be immune to small arms fire. And certainly bigger caliber guns or magical arrows would be still be able to penetrate their skin, but some regular peasant with a bunch of arrows really shouldn't be bringing down Scarbrand. I really don't see it, but Scarbrand can and will die to the most basic piles of range units. And I get that it's for balance purposes, but, you know, it just bothers me slightly. Anyway, looks like the heal position is, well, paying dividends here. The enemy's nowhere in, well, that's nowhere close to reaching any of our range units, so they did manage to do a decent bit of damage with their Forest Goblin Spider Riders, archers, thanks to their poison to one of the Brigand Raiders, who have lost about 45% to 55% of their HP. But the enemy's flanks have nonetheless collapsed, and their fast movers are being ridden down by our own. Not that it's all that important anymore, as with that the enemy army fails, and the Brigand's positioning basically carries this particular battle in our favor, as the enemy could just not do anything in terms of being able to climb this hill. Lovely. Alright, there we go. Very, very nice. This is, I believe, the last of the armies of the Broken Axe, so Bertrand the Brigand the Savior is looking more and more accurate as a name here, as central Bretonnia has effectively been rescued from the domination of the Broken Axe by, well, this one army. And, the Brigand Raiders did fairly well here. I still intend to upgrade them to Erimo Chasseur in this particular army, but overall, pretty happy with with the result of everybody. A little bit more damage on the sort of melee brigands, but unsurprising, they are tier 1 troops. And if they have to fight in melee, they're going to get hurt. Ransom captives? Ransom captives. Alrighty, then. We will probably not be able to reach the Barrows of Quila. Oh, so darn close. If only. And it's actually going up to tier 5. It would have been nice to take it at tier 5. But other armies may approach. Admittedly, they'll probably sally out. The only thing I'm worried about is one of the other factions just moving to Orcamont and taking it, which would be unfortunate, because we're looking to take the whole place and then trade it to the Wood Elves for, you know, Bretonnia territories. Though there is marble here, admittedly, which we don't otherwise have. But anyway, noblemen. Well, the irony is real. It's not. I guess here it's not nobleman. It's nobleman. Just need a little space there. And Gustav the Savior has, well, Savior. Tollkeeper, income from all buildings. Hello. Ally mission successful. More importantly, Fleur of the Braid. You are Fleur of the Money. Tollkeeper. There you go. This is our biggest money-making province, and damn well should it make even more money. Okay, anything else that we needed to do this particular turn? Oh, right, I did not check heroes yet, and okay, we'll put you in a specific... You know what, can you just get away from the settlement? It's bothering me. What do we have here? Ooh, another Cunning Friar. Yes, we'll take it.
Your coming was for
Paladins. I did want that virtue of audacity, I think. Bolstered leadership is garbage, especially since we have effectively the same thing from the Grail relics. Bolstered attack is at least something, not for a peasant army, I think, but, well, making knights kill things harder, I certainly wouldn't mind. Let's do that. Paladin of Bretonnia, indeed. And what do we have for the damsels? I was planning to get yet another one of these, Shrouded in Mist. I think we'll do. Let us, in fact, get one here. You can act as a scout at the same time, and I like that idea. Shrouded in Mist, and you can be Tech Thief. Really? Come on, come on. There you go, Ruinous. Tech Thief, and accept. No horse.
What is your behest?
There you go. Alrighty. And I do believe we are good minus any additional building we may now want to build, considering we got a little bit more cash out of that. We can forgo any of the infrastructure territories. Skaven Blade isn't critical enough, I think, to warrant upgrading. At the very least, I don't want to pay 10k, considering we need to pay like 20k in a turn or so to get the Tower of the Enchantress in 2 turns. So yeah, I guess that's when we'll be doing that. Oh, and somebody pointed out last episode that I had forgotten the dwarf construction site, which is why this thing cost only 2,000 gold instead of 10,000, or 9,000 with the reductions, which explains that. So yeah, I forget things quickly. Telzen, Muzg. Yes, we'll take Muzg. Duriath and Wendy. No, only Muzg. And I believe that's it for this particular turn, unless I'm mistaken. And if I am, it's too late. On buildings, outposts, and end the turn. Yeah, I'm going to end the turn. That was an irritating noise. Oh, wow, we're down to 6.5. Ooh, Crackerdrack destroyed. We're down to 6.5k per turn now. With every turn, we keep recruiting, and, well, obviously losing the income. So, what do we have here? Aha! Looks like Metastone Yosef has arrived with Death Runner spam. Oh, that's interesting. This is probably going to be a toughie. Alright, well, good luck to the... Can you cast anything? You can cast Windblast and Harmonic Convergence, and then you can cast Earthblood and... Awakening of the Woods. Alright, so we got at least something with the mana, because the enemy will certainly be casting approximately 1,000,000,000 billion Warp Lightnings. Go.
Fortune favors you!
Alrighty, here we go. I don't know if fortune favors you, the peasants, because the way that we're dealing with this particular army is that all the peasants are over on this side, led by the prophetess. and they will try to hold off about half of the enemy army, whereas the other side is our 3 knightly units, which will try to hold off the other half, including 3 units of death runners and a bunch of units of night runners, both with slings and with shuriken. We do have the companions of Quenelle to rely upon, who once again have that checkered pattern like the defenders of the Fleur-de-Lis. And again, it's one I really like. And we're gonna see how well they do against all these guys. The main thing here is not to get bogged down fighting. We have to charge right through those death runners, keep charging, keep moving. If we stop for even a few seconds, the Knights Errant will get absolutely torn apart by the high damage dealing death runners, especially with that armor reducing Weeping Blade of theirs. Minus 50% armor and super high damage, especially with Death Frenzy on them. And with the trees potentially debuffing us. So we're gonna back off and charge right through while the companions of Quenelle come in from the other side. And do another solid charge, and then do their best to keep moving once more without being bogged down. Fortunately, it looks like the damage is certainly there, with the Death Runners losing about half of their HP, every single one. We are free to engage with the Night Runners with slings, as it won't be too much of a big deal. Though admittedly we have to prioritize actually taking out both the Death Runners and the Night Runners with Shuriken, which, like any... Well, I mean, the Shuriken aren't precursor weapons, but like precursor weapons, they're very high damage dealing and can obviously knock out plenty of models of Knights if we're not careful. Fortunately, that's why we will try to take them out as quickly as we can, and they were the first unit, I believe, to rout, and will be the first unit that runs off the battlefield. Speaking of, one of the Death Runners is out, and it looks like the other 2 are down to about 30% of their HP. Just gotta keep focusing them until they're all routing, and then shatter them, or at the very least run them off. And before focusing back down on the slings, we're gonna ignore the enemy hero, because frankly it would take too much effort, and the Knights aren't going to be very good at surrounding and killing a single foot lord or hero. Because you can only have, like, what, 4 of them or something attacking a tiny entity like that, and it would be a waste of the rest of the unit's time. Fortunately, though, over on the right side where we committed only our knights, it looks like the battle is ours. The Death Runners are out, and a single unit of Night Runners with slings is not going to stand up to against our knights of any kind, really. In the meantime, the balance of power has only shifted to about 50% in our favor, and the battle as yet continues. Here, the Beast Slayers of Bastogne are doing their best to hold back the enemy chieftain with that cavalry bane, though it would be nice if they stopped getting distracted by the Death Runners, currently being held back by the peasant mobs. Fortunately, with cavalry bane, that chieftain ain't going anywhere. Although I am surprised that the Beast Slayers of Bastogne only have a plus 10 anti-large bonus. You'd think that a specialist unit like this would have 20. 10 seems a little low, especially because their base melee attack is only 25. It's tiny. It's absolutely tiny, so the bonus versus large being plus 10 will only push it to 35, which is still very small. It's basically, even with the bonus, it's only at the level of a base battle pilgrim without buffs, and I don't know. I just figure it's not enough. Plus, the Beast Slayers of Bastogne do look like a really cool unit, and I feel like they deserve a little bit more love there. But anyway, they are only foot squires, I suppose. The Death Runners are being worn out, essentially. They have cut through half of a unit of peasant mobs, but we're essentially using the Skaven strategy against them, as the Death Runner elite troops are tired out by fighting a pile of garbage peasant mobs in the same way that the enemy might like to tire us out by fighting Skaven slaves. And frankly, the Bretonnians do somewhat take a page out of the Skaven book in the first place, because they effectively mandate that their peasants breed in well, very high numbers, such that they have endless droves of them to sort of herd towards the enemy. You need your cannon fodder, after all. So basically, the Skaven and Bretonnians can at least agree on 1 or 2 things. Anyway. And I suppose those highly placed in Skaven society thinking everybody else is beneath them remind you of someone you know. Anyway, yes, I'm comparing Bretonnia and the rats here. Anyway, here we go. We've got the Death Runners on the run now, and we've got the Gutter Runner Slingers, as well as the heroes, the only ones remaining. They will launch a few more Doom Rockets our way, but, well, like we said, we are certainly free to sacrifice the peasants. We've sacrificed them to nukes before. We'll certainly sacrifice them to a few rockets from a Warlock Engineer. Though by the looks of it, with the bounce of power about 80% in our favor, the enemy doesn't have a prayer of winning. It will take some time for our knights to come into this battlefield, or come onto this side of the battlefield, rather. But it looks like they might not even be needed, as between the tower launching cow carcasses at the enemy and the arrows coming down upon them, and the Skaven are pretty much done. We've also got the summon of the Green Knight, since we're defending here, who will go after the enemy Warlock Engineer. We'll see how effectively. He does have that Grail Banishment, as well as 80 melee attack base and solid damage dealing. Actually, his base is not 80 because he's got a plus 25, but nonetheless, he does hit hard. That net is so freaking stupid, though. Ugh, I hate the net. Anyway, yes, I'm still on that. With that, it looks like the enemy, our lord, our shatters, and the battle is ours. I don't believe the enemy lord had a hope in, well, in surviving against the Green Knight anyway. And there we go. Ooh, nice little bit of punting, though that didn't actually execute the enemy lord. Let's see the final blow, if you can do that without sending him flying again. Hey, there we go. I do believe that was it for the enemy lord. Very nice. We got some mileage out of that summon. Alrighty, nice fight. We couldn't quite catch all the rats. In fact, we caught about half of them only, but that was, well, pretty much what we were expecting. They were always going to be rather tough to chase down. Luckily for us, the 3 units of knights that we had were more than sufficient to protect one side of the map, while the giant pile of peasants were more than sufficient to protect the other, minus the, you know, inability to chase stuff down. We got 3 out of the 4 heroes. Couldn't quite get the Lord, but no good, I guess. And I'm sure we got other units on the way to actually, you know, have a go at destroying them for good. Ransom captives, yes, take the money. Especially now that we're collecting less income. And alright, they'll back off. The question is, how far? And they appear to have crossed the water here, which ain't so great. I would hope that we can get our main stack moving in. Okay, I thought the game was stuck there for a second. I think Wissenland and Reichland are both such huge territories right now that the 2 AIs are just taking forever to move, which makes sense, admittedly. Alright, I'm also curious to see whether Orion will besiege Carrick Buftar or will just sit there. Hopefully he sits there, because at this point we have a lot of territory in these mountains, and yeah, anyway, Arguelon, Wood Elves. You want us to join war against Carrick Norn? We might, just not right now. We busy. Although again, admittedly, if Orion does take some territories in these mountains, we can do some swapping of stuffs up. Either way, I think we're okay. Ooh, we do have to watch out for the Skaven. Ah, he does besiege it. We're not going to help him, though. I hate to waste time, especially with the Fay Enchantress as she wants to move against the Mask of Slaanesh, but if we're... how long will Orion besiege? That's going to be another question. Military Alliance. I'm going to give us 3k for this, which is pretty solid. Probably because you're having a bit of a tough time with these guys. Yeah, why not? Frankly, there's a decent likelihood that you're going to be dead soon, so take the money. This is one of those situations where there's not a lot of factions you can draw us into wars against here that would be of too much of an issue for us, and, he sacked it. He didn't take it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Orion.
I serve the Lady of the Lake.
Defensive alliance with these Southern Realmers. That I'm not sure about yet. We will decline for now. It depends. We don't know what the relationships are like, because if they're super friendly with Sartosa or anything like that, then we may have to, well, we may have to deal with them. Oh man, and since Benito Sordi is here, I was contemplating letting Orion, just staying there and letting Orion take that, but then... Caravan, you want a military alliance? For 2.2 gold, eh? Is that enough for us? I'm gonna say no for now, but we'll take a look at it again later. Yeah, unfortunately this means we have to capture it right now. We can't even try to give it to Orion in the future. A little bit of growth, which we have plenty of, versus construction costs for all buildings, all regions faction-wide? Yes. Prosperous harvest. An unusually bountiful harvest has left us with a rare and excessive surplus. This can be distributed immediately or stored for the future. Distributed now. Production cost reduction. Crackerjack were destroyed and we killed in battle. The blessings of the lady. Your army has gained. Mission aborted. Wayfarer for the Green Knight. Good. Next up, we got a new tech, which should be almshouses, because we're trying to get to charity. Yes. Alrighty, then, immediately, just so I don't forget, because... Oh, okay, no, we still got one turn here, but you're already in Realm of Chivalry. You have also got one turn, and you are not in Realm of Chivalry. That's the one that we don't want to forget. Then... Ooh, what's the likelihood that there's another rat army out there? Well, at the very least, Franciscus de Meilleur can reach us by, so go as far as you can, buddy, and if you get ambushed, you get ambushed. I'll say send the tech thief out here to determine if there's any enemy in Guaniar. And there is not. Watch these guys immediately take it. We are right beside the mask now. This army's not ready for the mask, though.
Bretonnia.
Then we will have you.
Fortune favors
Attack
you.
the... Huh? No, attack from this side. Are you trying to attack across the water, you little...
I go hence.
Don't do that. Yeah, go here. Kill this. I'm hoping we can auto-resolve. Really close victory against this. Close victory. Alright, I'm gonna manually fight this real quick. Should I do this between the episodes? No, I got time. Alright, so just super quick. Just send the knights at them, reduce the casualties, etc., etc. I actually have a fair few of the slinger units, which could potentially be annoying. I'll try to do it on max speed without taking too much unnecessary damage, because this is obviously a slight little waste of... Oh wait, they've recovered to full HP? Huh. Go figure. Good for them, I guess. Well, anyway. I mean, if they've recovered to full HP, maybe it is worth it as a cinematic. Alrighty, start battle. Speed up. They're not heading towards a zone. They'll summon a bunch of clan rats thanks to the menace below as well. Alright, we're gonna wait until the other knights arrive. I'm gonna mosey on in. You are a Gracier of Plague, so funnily enough not that threatening to us. At the very least to the knights. And the clan rats we don't care so much about because we want them to, well, we use them to bounce around between the other units. Alright, good. You guys are coming on in. We got 2 friars. You guys are gonna mosey on in as well. Get ready, you. Like so. You're gonna be group 1, you're gonna be group 2. You guys are gonna be group 3. I don't know whether we'll need you, but, you know, we'll keep you on standby. Like so, and let's head on and you float overhead and get in the way. Alright, let's see. Okay, you know what, let's send 2 units around this way and then the rest of you in the center. I'm pretty sure they didn't have anything of real concern. It's the Death Runners we want to kill. Up. Alright, you guys dodge a little bit of arrow fire, and I would like you to go and do this. And go through. Alright, you guys charge this and then go through. Good. And go through. You guys go here, and through. Alright, and through. Through, please. You surround the enemy lord, and you go through. You guys get ready. Yeah, there's another one here. And then turn. You guys are gonna get in each other's way a little bit. Let you go through, and I would like you to do this here. You've gone through. Good. You. You're a knight errant. You are a knight errant. Alright, good. And we will heal you guys up on this side. You guys get ready to go through again. Okay, charge this. Charge this. Death Runners matter more than most things. I would also like you to heal this unit because it's hurt. Alright, you guys back away this way. You guys charge on through again. Good. Frankly, I'm surprised the enemy army hasn't shot. You know what? You guys go group 3 and then attack everybody. Alright, you guys charge on through. Charge on through. Good. Enemy army is nearly done for. And this is why I wanted to auto-resolve this, because this is obviously silly and a waste of time. And the damage that we took was probably primarily from the Night Runners. What did I do with you? Oh, you go kill those Night Runners. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything to it. Alright, good. Good, you guys actually return this way. Alright, good. Make sure that the units that are being chased down... Oh, you stopped. My bad. That was my bad. You guys are good. You've gone through now, and then return this way. Now we got some Death Runners coming back. Charge on in. Kill the Death Runners as a priority. You can go after them. You know what? Actually, go after the enemy lord. Alright, good. Nice little charge. We got our friars and whatnot coming into play. And okay, you maybe don't fight the enemy lord, but do heal up this this unit. Alright, you guys go through like this. And alright, good, good, good. Through. And enemy lord will now shatter. Who remains? You. Just chase down whatever remains, like this, and you go chase down the enemy lord. You are still being damaged by something. You know what? Back off. I think this unit's the one hurting you. You can charge this, though, and we can just heal you up again. A little bit of damage, but nothing too severe. Could have obviously taken the battle a little bit more seriously and reduce those casualties further, but, you know, like, 5 guys dead is who cares. Yeah. Alright, we're good. You guys can surround this. And you will want to go through. Oh, don't ride on top of each other. It's not actually a giggle, or do, whatever. You know, whatever floats your boat. But I would like you to do this, and there we go. This army backed away after losing, so in theory, you don't need to chase anything down because they'll be destroyed. In practice, I'm going to do it anyway just because I don't trust it. Never trust the game because a bug will show up and then screw you. Alright, and that's as good as it's getting here. These units are probably gonna get off field. We're max speed again. Are you guys actually attacking anything? I can't even tell. Alright, you guys charge this. You guys are good. You guys are good. You guys are good. You guys will not catch that. Go here. And you can tell why I wanted to auto-resolve this. And a few of those units as gals. Alright, I think it's good enough. Alright, Inez lost 1 guy, so one of the companions of Quinnell, probably, yeah, to the, 7 on the Death Runners. Yeah, and that's why you can never stop, just like in the previous battle. The Death Runners will cut your knights down because they do high damage if you stop. If you keep moving, you should be able to spend the time, A, punting them, and B, damaging them via collision damage. Not the same thing as collision attacks, mind you, which are what chariots do. This is just collision damage, and we just mow the enemy down and keep moving without getting bogged down and taking a return damage from the enemy, ideally. Alrighty, and another channeling stab. Stop giving us those. Alrighty, ransom captives, please. Thank you for the cash. You are going to stay in this army. You are going to We killed in battle. Channeling staff, Royal Pegasus, sure. You are going to transfer here. Then you are going to return in raiding stance to St. Jacques. Like so, because you're a sport lord. Though you did well here. You have 10th share, which is good. I guess we keep going through Steward of the Realm. I don't think anything else here is of use to us. So yeah, Steward of the Realm, more growth, though frankly this province doesn't need it. We may swap between these guys later on. Was that the only channeling stuff we have? Okay, we got Forbidden Rods. Okay, let's do a little bit of itemization. So I think the friars of various ones can be... You're holding Syrian's Locket. I was going to give you the Opal Amulets, because they're the support units. Technically speaking, so are the mages, but the mages don't really need it as much. You are a friar. Okay, yeah, let's get you. Opal Amulet. And wait, pick the wrong guy. You can have the... Actually, you know what? Let's give the Opal Amulet, at least for now, to both of these guys. I figure that this is the army where they're more likely to be forced into melee, even though they're technically range units. So yeah, let's do that. Then the Forbidden Rods. We need heroes of the damsels of life. You are a damsel of life because you have sanctified. Yes. Therefore, you can have a Forbidden Rod. And you are a damsel of what kind? Life. Good. And you have the favored by the lady. All right. Forbidden Rod. Good. don't need the channeling staff. We'll keep the trickster shard because the forbidden rods only go on the life users most of the time. Crown of command we can ignore. Book of Assurance for lords. And wait, do we have any? Well, none of the lords are ready for that one yet. Okay. Now, anything else we need to do? Oh, the Fay Enchantress can move. Alright, it's a new turn. I don't want the Fay Enchantress wasting her time on Carrick Buffdar since it just got sacked. So we will use... Oh. I was about to say use Olivia the Braid to do it, which we will. Though... Actually wanted to transfer this to the Fay Enchantress. For now, we will auto-resolve this, I think, and not move the Fay Enchantress into Reinforced because at max range, she can reach Kafirkamaz, which is the capital and last settlement of one of the rat factions. I'm also surprised that these rats have not jumped down towards us. What do you have? Mountain takes its toll. Oh, but they have a full stack and Fester Spike. Okay, this is going to be annoying. Until these rats are gone, we'll have to park an army here, essentially. And there isn't really anything we can do about it. Ooh, Orbimo, though, yes, has leveled up. Let's get you the training field to start, and hopefully that'll work with the Adatsa. Alright, 70 now. We'll see. Hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't, we'll have to get rid of the spice post and maybe even upgrade the other building. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. Then... How are our caravans doing, by the way? 6 and 8. Okay. A while of traveling, and neither of you... Okay, you're actually saving points, so neither of you technically need to level. Alright, so, the Fay Enchantress. I would like you to declare war upon these rats, and this is... Let's see who they're at war with. Skaven. This is Clan Spittle. They're at war with Carrick Norn, who are getting obliterated by Durthu, but might be willing to pay us 3k for this. We will declare war on Spittle.
Fine.
And then probably on you later, so you just wait, buddy. You just wait. You will hit Carrick Kafirkamaz, and can any of you reinforce any one of these guys? By the looks of it, no. You're too far. And I take it there's a full stack here? Yes, there is. Ooh, valiant defeat, you say, and 2 full stacks. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Unfortunately, we won't have time to do it this episode, but that will be nice when we get to it. And I take it none of you are able to travel far enough to reinforce any of these guys? Unfortunately not. We'll have to meet up with the Fay Enchantress anyway, so that's fine. Just a slight annoyance. Out of curiosity.
Careful now.
Okay, it's not bad. We could leave them down there, but the problem is they hate us so much they would redeclare war on us, just like the Ramateb dynasty did. And, oh right, there's another Wood Elf faction down here. Frankly, I'm surprised that they're still alive, seeing as how close they are to Sartosa, who admittedly does not like us very much. Probably have to send an Ayrshire army down there. Oh, did these guys capture the last territory of Tabaro? They did. Meaning Tabaro is destroyed. Ooh, meaning they will only attack these guys now, and potentially us, which means we really need to get the Fay Enchantress here rapidly. Out of the mountains, through the port, and then over the river and through the woods. To Slanish's house we go. Yeah, okay. Also, did I... Oh, I never leveled you for... Okay, steel tech. But we didn't try to steel tech, but... You know, block army and wound. Like so. Okie dokie. Then... Bertrand. Wait, no, not Bertrand. We won't have time to fight this right now anyway. I wanted you... Olivie to go into regular stance and then to occupy Care Buffdar. Like so. Free Gleaming Pennant, which is garbage. And occupy. Giving us the full province, not that I really care about. Alright, lose the Gleaming Pennant, and Pegasus for Julian Paquette. Yeah, sure. Your army has gained the Blessing of the Lady, great. Delete this, and instate Realm of Chivalry. And we'll keep the Grail Shrine. And I guess go for farm. Yeah, alright, anyway, I think while there is a lot of stuff remaining to do, we're out of time, and we shall do the do next time, as I am calling this episode here. Next time, we will start the battle by fighting this massive pile of Skaven in Kafirkamaz, and, the Ironclaw Greenskins have really gotten far. Oh, I guess they're also taking territory from Carrick Norn, and yet Carrick Azor isn't helping them. Well, either way, it won't be the Fay Enchantress that continues dealing with the problem in these mountains. We'll be sending her around to deal with Slaanesh. Now this looks okay. We might have to build a new errantry force to go up to help Lewin, as he's still having trouble. Huh. I'll have to try to pay attention to you. If the Continental Exarchate manages to take a settlement, we might get access to their units. However, briefly, before they lose it, we should build the outpost in order to try to, well, make use of some of those. Actually, oh, I just realized something. By doing that, I take it we have now increased the cost once again of the Wood Elf units. Actually, not by much. These were 33, now they're 36. I was hoping to recruit them right now. Bergerac has nothing we want. Well, actually, eagles would be nice in any army that has flyers. Frankly, we could even slot a couple in where they, where those range units are. But they'll work very nicely for infantry mincing. And really anything. Eagles are very strong in SFO. Cithrol, I'm just checking if anybody additionally has any wood wardens. And it doesn't look like it. Alrighty, anyway, like I said, with that, we're out of time. I'm calling the episode here. More stuff to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. Perhaps for another double episode down the line, if they have not worn out their welcome. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.